Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Saturday, March 27th, 2021. One thing that I'm working on is I'm trying to figure out a better way to kind of like intro or start the live stream. Because normally I kind of like yell into the microphone and it makes the rest, like figuring out the audio levels on this thing, really hard. And I think for the people listening on the podcast, it's all screws them up. So I'm trying to find a way to like maybe say it enthusiastically rather than screaming it all the time. But that's one thing that's been on my mind lately. And for everyone that's been listening on the podcast, thank you for your patience. I know I've been screwing it up and then the audio levels are just like all over the place. I'm working on it. Today is a nice and springy day. Like temperature is nice. It's almost 50 degrees Fahrenheit here, but there's definitely cold air coming off the lake. So it's like a weird kind of like brisk 50 degrees. It's actually like in the high 40s, but like, so it's nice out. It's deceptively chilly though. But I didn't get rained on for my workout again. Like, I mean, knock on wood. This is an incredible good luck streak. So I was able to get in a workout today, and then I was able to spend some time outside with the girls at the playground, and all in good weather. So overall, I'm having a good day. I'm also enjoying a late afternoon coffee today because with the chilly, that little like coldness in the air, coffee is just extra delicious. So it's the weekend. I'm going to have some coffee. How are you guys doing today, everyone on the podcast? Hope you guys are doing all right, enjoying your run or your commute home. And everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, hopefully you're also taking this in at a time where you can just relax. Hopefully maybe the more stressful part of your day is over and now you're just enjoying some time together with some of your favorite runners. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about everyone else that's here in the chat because we'll those of you who have been here, I'll show like the chat down on the bottom of the screen so you guys can also enjoy it as well. Let's see who's here. Jim Rowe says, hi, all, third day without running. Oh, sorry to hear about that. He's had some Achilles pain and small swelling. And he's got some new ASICS Noosa just waiting. So sad. Well, hopefully it'll resolve itself quickly and you'll be able to get back in there. Philip Bourne says, good day, everyone. The last 8 to/9 p.m. live stream over here in Europe. Time shift tonight. Oh, okay. So in Europe, you guys are switching over tonight in terms of daylight savings. It's so confusing. Why do we still do this to ourselves, everybody? We should just get rid of it. Sarah Mims is here. Oh, sorry, where did that go? Sarah had a question. She says, thoughts on structured/hard heel upper run shoes versus unstructured/flexible. I have narrow heel and thought I needed hard, but been walking in shoes with flexible heel and actually it's holding my heel well. Yeah, it's a good point because like I've definitely had shoes where I'm like, ooh, I like this sturdy heel cup. This is nice. And other shoes like Ultras, for example, like they're just super floppy. You could press them in the back and you could just press your finger all the way down and touch like the insole with the heel. But I love those too. And I think part of it, I think of it a lot like guide rails that they're starting to put onto stability shoes. If you don't have a heel that's moving around a lot when your foot hits the ground, or like if your ankle is like crashing inward one way or another, then I think that you're probably not going to notice too much one way or the other as long as the rest of the shoe fits well. But if you do have a foot strike where the ankle might tend to slide over from one side to another, that's where I think you're going to want that more substantial kind of heel cup that's in there. So that's kind of my take on it is I don't like them because I feel like they add a lot of weight and I don't really feel like I need them. But I understand why some people would want to have them in the shoes. So it doesn't bother me if it's flexible, but I prefer flexible. But overall, the shoes got to fit well is kind of like my thing. So hopefully that answers kind of your question. Recycle on Wednesdays here. Awesome. Good to see you. And what up, fam? Says in the long run, Dr. Josh, good to see you again, too. David Sachs is here. Luis Becerra, Stevie76. Awesome. We got everybody here today. Okay. Let's see. David Sachs says he's doing pretty good, getting really close to 100% after COVID. Awesome. Great to hear. The one thing that like freaks me out about COVID, I mean, there's many things that freak me out about it, but when you hear about people with like long haul symptoms, that's terrifying. That's really terrifying. So hopefully I'm glad to hear that you're really close to 100%, David. So that's good to hear. Sam Renlet says, first chance to get on here live. Welcome. Good to see you. He's been listening to the podcast on the long runs for a half marathon training, which was today. Awesome. PR'd at 1:41:59. Fantastic time. Great job, Sam. And I feel privileged that you're bringing all of us with you as you're training for this half marathon. Great work. Great work. Well, good news. Great way to start off the podcast or the live stream today. Mark says, did you finish Shamrock Shuffle? How did you do? I did. I came in at like 32:0. Well, my watch immediately after said 32:05. And then at some point, it kind of adjusted itself to 32:01. So right about where my PR for that race is. So not thrilled about that, but overall, feeling really good about the effort. I learned a lot of lessons, some insights that I think are going to be important moving forward through the rest of kind of training and racing, in 2021 and beyond. So feeling really good about that. I'll be doing a 10K time trial. And this isn't going to be a virtual race, just a time trial by myself along the lakefront, probably next weekend. So felt good enough that I'd like to kind of give it another shot, but I also don't really want to run another 8K. It's a weird distance for me. And I'd rather run either a 5K or a 10K. The 8K just seems weird. I mean, I didn't run in college and cross country, so I never really raced that distance. Roberto Davila's here. What's going on, Roberto? And Steve says, good evening. Had a fun 6 miles in the Mach 4. But he has to wear thin socks. Any recommendations that aren't synthetic feeling? I'm not sure. Which ones are you running in that give you that synthetic feeling? I would say that some of my favorite, right now my favorite socks are Stance. I really like Stance. I have some longer ones, like taller ones, like crew length, that go up or I guess they're not completely over the calf, but they're pretty much over the calf. And then I have some ones that are like low cut or no show socks, and I really like those as well. Those are probably my favorite right now. Yeah, I would probably look there first. Ines is here. Good to see you, Ines. And Mark also wants to follow up, says, for the Shamrock Shuffle, which sneakers did you have on? I wore the Adios Pro. So I'm thinking that there's a high probability that I'll wear the Adios Pro again for that 10K. I'm debating whether or not to kind of just spread the love a little bit and just run in something else. I did a workout recently in the Endorphin Pro. So that's probably right now, number 2 on the list. So it'll probably be one of those 2 shoes for the 10K, because I feel like both of those shoes are really well suited for it, at least for me and kind of how I run. Steve 76 says, anyone ever run the length of the Suez Canal? I think it's 120 miles. Though it's in the Middle East, so it's desert, right? So that not that that's ever stopped anyone. What is that one that's in Moab? That's crazy. But what's an example of how bad I am at the Suez Canal? I didn't know where the Suez Canal was. I had no idea. I knew it wasn't in Panama, because that's where the Panama Canal is. But if you had told me Suez Canal, I would have thought somewhere not in the Middle East. That would have been my guess. So I'm just terrible at geography. Yeah. Shannon's here, says, hey, Coco. Awesome. And Vegan Runner says, good evening, Co. Happy weekend. Cheers. He's got some cheers emojis on there. Cheers to you, everyone, whatever you're drinking today. Guys, I was just thinking about today how much I really miss brew pubs, little microbreweries. Yeah, I feel like they have been developing momentum. I think they've kind of always been a certain way, but they've been developing more of a momentum. Or maybe I was aging into the dynamic where I like brew pubs a lot more, where I was starting to go to the ones where I would go with my friends and their kids. So you'd bring your kids to the bar, which sounds weird, but a lot of it just seems it's not a place where you just go and slam beers all day, but it was a place to go. There's food, there's really tasty beverages, and then it's set up so that way, your kids, it's not they had toys there, but our kids are maybe getting old enough where they can behave and interact with each other, So I was just thinking about how much I miss that. I really, really miss that. I can't wait to start going back to some breweries. The 3 that I really want to go to are Dry Hop, which is in my neighborhood. Then I also want to go to the Revolution Brewing Company brewery. That's in, I think, is it Logan Square, that area. That one's a nice one too. Although that one tends to skew a lot younger, as does Dry Hop skews a little bit on the young side. And then Old Irving is the third one that I would probably really want to go to. It's right by my running buddy's house. He lives like a couple blocks away, and they have a huge giant area. So if your kids do need to like kind of like scream and run around a little bit, there's space for that. So like, yeah. So I really miss that, guys, and I feel like we're getting close. I mean, Chicago's going through like another spike right now, so like it's going to be a long time. But I finally feel like we're getting closer. But that was something that really struck me today. Yeah, Martha says the kids can get Shirley Temples. Yeah, they can certainly do that. Yeah, but like I think that, like all of like me and my friends, like our kids are all kind of the same ages, relatively speaking. So like, even though there's a different genders, but they all still kind of get along, and I feel like that's pretty cool. That's such a hard thing to kind of like navigate, I think. So feeling pretty good about that. So like they could do that, and it's just nice. Not that we would spend all day there, because no one's kids have the energy for that. Our kids aren't old enough to be like, hey, look at this iPad for 3 hours. But like, although they probably could do that now, but like it's nice. It's nice to be able to just get together with some families. Sarah Mim says the Blanco Lirio YouTube channel is great and has good video on Suez Canal ship blocking. Oh, I might have to go look at that. I do enjoy the memes that are coming out of that, like that one like crane excavator that's just trying to like free this ship. It's very like Sisyphean in a way. I just think that that is like the right image to hit us at just the right time. Yeah, but I didn't know about this. Stevie's telling Martha that some animals on ships might die because of the Suez blockage. I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, that puts a different spin on it. I just thought it was just going to be like oil tankers that are blocked from shipping more oil. That's all I thought it was. Not that that's an insignificant thing, but Oh, Jody says, this is just so bizarre. Jody says that around him, there's 2 locally acquired cases in the suburbs around where he lives. And he's expecting an announcement that they'll go into a 3 to 5 day lockdown today. That's crazy. I mean, that's good. It's amazing. It's why Australia seems to have such a good handle on things, whereas the United States doesn't. But like in contrast, like number of cases have risen by like 25% over the last week in Chicago. 25% increase in cases with only like a 6% rise in testing numbers. So it's not like we tested more people, so we got more cases. It was like per the number of tests, like the percentage of people that are getting it is increasing. So like that's just like exponentially bigger than what you guys are experiencing. And we're like, maybe we should slow down on reopening these bars, so it's just a world of difference, All right. Philip T. Fowler says, hey, gives it a little wave. What's going on, Philip? Says, first time chatting. I'm 50, training for my first half. Ran a training half a few weeks ago at 159. Any suggestions how to relax my shoulders during my runs? And seen the pics, and shoulders are up by my ears. Oh, that's interesting. One is you might just have one part is you might just have shoulders that like look like they're up to your ears, and if that's just how you run, that's just how you run. So I wouldn't really worry about tinkering with that too much. But some things that you can think about if you feel like you're tensing up is just like think about relaxing. Sometimes when I'm running, I'll just literally shake out my arms as I run just to release some tension. Sometimes I will get like a cramp back here, like in this area. And so whenever I feel that, maybe I'll just stretch a little bit or like shake out like shake out your arms as you're running. That could be one thing to do to approach that. The other thing that I would think about is just think about, I mean, one of the advice that piece of advice my high school running coach would always give me is just run pretty, and just make sure you're looking like standing up straight, good posture, breathing in, breathing out, not too hunched over, just feel like you're running tall, and hopefully that will help straighten you out as well. So those are some things that I think that you can work on. But like, I think trying to tell yourself, keep your shoulders low is probably not going to help, but I would say focus on just good, clean running mechanics. I think of it also a lot like either like swinging a golf club or swinging a baseball bat. The way that you really get power in either of those swings is not by trying to hit something really hard, but by having smooth and quick mechanics. So that's another way to look at it. Vegan Runner says, the other thing you can do with shoulders is to really push them towards your ears, hold it, and then release. Oh, so then I see it to go with like a little reverse psychology on the shoulders. I could see, and that might work. All right. Let's see what we got up here. Steve says, belated thanks, Mike, for the recommendations. I use Nike Spark Lightweight. Had to deal with a small child. All right. Jody says, relax shoulders by pinching fingers like holding a chip and try not to break it. Surprisingly, it works. Oh, like this? Oh, I've heard of that before. I totally forgot about that. I would definitely try that. I want to hear if that works. Interesting. Remy wants to know, hey, Co, have you tested the range of the Insta362 case as a remote? How far away can you be and trigger the recording? I have not tested that. That's an interesting question. My guess would be probably about 30 feet line of sight, less if there's other interference, because I believe the connection is Bluetooth. So my guess would be the limitations of Bluetooth, which is about 30 to 50 feet, depending. But yeah, that's an interesting test. I might have to look at that. All right. Mr. Random said, I had fun running with a deer today. Oh. Wow. That's nice. I haven't seen a deer since we were in Iowa. And in Iowa, I was seeing a lot of deer. Well, then it was deer season, and then you end up seeing even more deer because they're getting flushed from their normal kind of spots. All right, let's see. MC1796 says, ended up running a 9:53 in that 3K. A lot of dragonflies on the track. Thanks for getting me into running, y'all. Awesome. Well, let's get a cowbell out for that. Good job, MC1796. 9:53 in the 3K. Good work, Speedy. And there was a lot of what did you run in again, MC1796? You didn't run in. Did you run in dragonflies? I don't know. I have no interest in the dragonfly, the spike, just because I don't wear spikes. But it's interesting to see people riled up about it. Ultra Dad says, hey, Kofuzi, what's going on from Cincinnati? Great weather down here. Still time to join my crew for the Cruel Jewel 100 on May 14th in Georgia. That might be a little bit early for me, Ultra Dad. I mean, I would love it if I'm ready to start getting out and about by May 14th, but I don't know. I'm not feeling optimistic enough to commit to anything for that, though. But thank you so much for the offer. Couple of things. I did not know that I'm familiar with the Cruel Jewel because Ryan Clayton's running that, and he's been talking about it. But I didn't know it was in Georgia, so that's a surprise to me. But cool, awesome. It's been a long time in Cincinnati. It's probably been, you know what? I think I've only been in Cincinnati twice. Other than I think I was in the airport once. I'm not going to count that. But once I went for a school function in law school. I was in a moot court competition. Very exciting stuff. And then the other time was I went to a wedding. That's where I met my wife. We met at a wedding. And I was in Cincinnati. So I have, I definitely love me some Cincinnati. Here's the question, Ultra Dad. if you're in Cincinnati and you're training for a 100-mile race, is part of your like aid station nutrition plan going to involve having some Skyline chili? That. I hope the answer is yes, but I gotta know. Let me know. As MC776 says, he did run in the Dragonflies. Nice. Bought into the hype, but you know what? Everyone else is racing in the same shoe, so it levels the playing field. Innes wants to know, Kofuzi, would the Rocket X be good for some speed work on a treadmill? Asking for a friend. Don't tell Pip. Yeah, I think it would be, because it's not that tall. So like you're not going to be worried about like kind of the stability part on the treadmill. I always just feel like the treadmill just seems like a little bit less stable of a surface to me for some reason. Maybe it's just in my mind. But whenever I get on a treadmill, I like to get lower stack height. And so I think that the Rocket X would be actually a really great choice. It's still lightweight, pretty nimble. So like if you're doing speed work and you're going from like jogging recoveries back up to speed, you'll be able to do those transitions pretty quickly. So I think that'll be a good choice. Very good choice. And I won't tell your dog. La Pizza said, ran a 5K in 18:23 today. A PB by a minute, a full minute. Wow, that's crazy. Great job, La Pizza. That's real fast. That's really fast. That's under 4 minutes a K, isn't it? No, I mean clearly it's under 4 minutes a K. That's a big 20-minute 5K, but I'm doing the math wrong, because I'm thinking that's under 6 minutes per mile. So what is that per kilometer? What's 5 into 18? 3, I don't know. 340 something? That's speedy. That's really speedy. I would love to be able to hit a 5K running an average of 6 minute per mile pace. I don't know what that, I think that equates to like 1840 or so, right? Something like that. 1830. So that's right around that area. That'd be a goal 5K pace for me. That's great. Awesome work. My mom's here. How's it going, Mom? How are you? All right. Joey H says, Kofuzi, with 2 exclamation points. Have you checked out the Zoom Tempo Next Percent? I have not checked out that shoe. I probably won't. It just seems like a strange shoe to me. So like it wasn't really jumping out at me. So unfortunately, I am probably not going to get that one. Anthony wants to know, Central, South, or North Jersey? I would say that I'm more Central Jersey. My sister and where my parents are North Jersey. They're up in, well, my sister's not there anymore. She lives in Connecticut now. But my parents are up in Bergen County. But I grew up in a variety of a band that I'll call Central Jersey. It doesn't go exactly like straight across the state from east to west, but I'll call it like a diagonal band, almost like a sash, like the Troopers have, or that they did have on their uniform. I don't know if they still have them on their uniforms, but I grew up in Middlesex County near Rutgers, and then we moved down towards the shore. I was in Monmouth County for a while, and then we moved again, and we were on the west side of the state, in Hunterdon County, which I don't know. I'm not going to say there's a such thing as Western Jersey, but it's very different than a lot of the other rest of the state over there. So that's kind of like, it would be kind of, but I would say mostly like, the Monmouth County area down by the Jersey Shore. That'd be, if I were to say where I'm from in Jersey, that's where I would say I'm from. All right. Kiefer's here, says just got here, but first run in the ASICS Noosa Tri 13 today. I'm just going to say 2021 shoe of the year. Whoa. Like the Saucony Endorphin Speed Second Coming. Oh, interesting. That's the colorful one, right? Am I right? Am I wrong on that one? Yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting. And Martha putting in her plug for the Takumi-sen, says the treadmill is less stable, but it's also softer. And the Takumi-sen is great on the treadmill, though. Just saying. She loves that shoe. And Ultra Dad says, I was in the same moon court competition, 2009. Oh, really? I was. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait a minute. I think in 2008, I graduated from law school, so I wouldn't have been there the same year. Wow. Fascinating. He said, but as far as the Skyline chili goes, the answer is no, TMI. But remember, there aren't many restrooms on those ultra trails. Oh, man. That's amazing. That's amazing. What a small world. Incredible. Joey H says, did you run in high school, Mr. Co? If so, what advice do you have for high school runners? If you didn't run in high school, when did you start? I did run in high school. I ran a variety of events. I was never excellent in anything. And so I got put in everything at least once, just because they tried to figure out what was this kid good at. So I started out running the mile. And they were like, this kid's not good at the mile. Let's put him in the half mile. And they were like, he's not good at the half mile. And so then I got put into, I ran the 400 meter hurdle, high jump, long jump, pole vault. I don't think I ever ran a 200 or a 100. I might have, no, I don't think I did a 100, but I did a 110 hurdle. So they knew that they were like, no, don't even bother putting this kid in the fast races. But I did, they kind of just like tried to get me to do one of everything to see what I could do. So yeah, but my advice for high school runners, if you want to get good at high school running, is be consistent. And so like the way I treated running in high school was like, I ran as little as possible every single time. And so like once the track season was over, boom, I was done with running. And I didn't think about it until about 2 weeks before practice started again the following season. And so I felt like, basically I didn't realize that I was basically making myself start over every season. And I feel like if I could have thought about it in a little bit more long-term of a way and thought about like, in the off season, just get out there and build base aerobic fitness, get stronger, work on fundamentals in the off season, and then really train and race in the season, and thinking of the season as being not in terms of on and off, but like a building phase and an execution phase. I feel like I really would have done a lot better in high school. And I could have done it in a way that I think I don't mean that everyone has to go out and be like a 60 or 70 mile per week runner for running like 5Ks and being milers. I don't think at the high school level for most people you need to do that. So, that's kind of what my advice would be. All right. Let's see. Sorry, that was a long rant. Yeah, Kiefer says, though, that Noosa Tri is the hotness one, the one that has all the colors on it. All right. Shan says it reminds her of the Grateful Dead. Yeah. All right. But Kiefer says, though, that Noosa Tri 13 is the shoe of the year. Interesting. I don't know. The color is like, I just feel like because it has the word tri, is it made for triathletes? Is that what it's for? Because that like kind of like is steering me away from it, that it has that with the word tri in it. Because I'm like, I don't want to, like they can have theirs, kind of thing, not that I'm taking anything away from them, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's meant for me. Gym Class Diesel says, would you recommend the Hoka Mach 4 or Hoka Carbon X for a one shoe inventory? I have the Mach 4. I'm probably going to run in it tomorrow, so I haven't run in it yet. But I also have the Carbon X. And I would say that I do not like the Carbon X as a one and only one shoe kind of running shoe. The Mach 4 is probably going to be a better choice for you on that one. I might also have you consider the Rincon or the Clifton if you're looking at Hokas and you only want to have one running shoe. I think those might be better fits, but I don't know if the Mach 4 is a bad choice. I'll have to see when I go on a run for it tomorrow. All right. Shannon said, my track coach did that with me too. So I was great at push-ups, so put me with the throwers, saw me throw the shot put, and said, never mind, hashtag not elite. I love it. Oh, man, that's so funny. And Remy does say triathletes are runners too. I'm not saying you guys are not runners. That's not what I'm saying at all, but I don't know. When it's like a triathlete's shoe, then I'm like, okay. Then it stays over there, I guess, kind of. But hopefully I can try a triathlon soon at some point. And then, I don't know, not that I need permission to be able to try the Noosa Tri, but I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know why. It seems like it's a shoe not for me. But yeah, I did try the shot put. There was one meet that I did compete in the shot, disc, and javelin. Because towards my senior year, there was one point where they were like, this kid might be good at decathlon. because he's not great at anything, but he knows how to do these weird events that most people can't wrap their heads around. So I'm like, I'll try it. So there was one meet where they were like, we're going to it was like a dual meet against a pretty small school. And I think I ran 5 events that day, because I think the max you could do was 3 track, and you could do like a total of 5 was the max, no more than 3, either track or field. So it had to be a 3-2 split. So I think I did like the 400, that day was weird. I think I did the 110, the 400 intermediate hurdles. And then I forget what the other. So I think I did 2 running events, and then shot, disc, and javelin in that one track meet. That was a weird meet. That was a really weird meet. I can't throw the discus. Me throwing the discus and me throwing the shot put looks pretty much identical. Well, I mean, I guess I haven't done it since 1997, so I guess I can't really say, but you know, it was a weird. Yeah, I wasn't good at it. Gurgos Mikhail Mike says, which Hoka should you recommend for long distance walking? For long distance walking, I would probably look at the Clifton first. That's the main one I would look at. Lots of cushion. It's got a nice rocker in there, so at the walking pace, I feel like it'd help you really keep moving in a nice rhythm. I don't know if you're talking. I'm assuming you're talking about just like going for longer walks, like walking as your primary exercise. If you're talking about speed walking, then I don't know, because I've never tried that before, and I'm not sure what's good or not good for that event. But I think if you're talking about walking as, you know, different form of exercise, then I do think that the Clifton 7 would be a good choice. JB says, could you try the Gaviota 3? Greetings from Sweden. I'm probably not going to try that one. What's the Gaviota? I'm trying to think. Who makes that one? Chip Name Needed's here. Yo, what's going on? I saw that you just got into Chicago. Better get ready. I saw a lot of people have been getting into Chicago, so I'm really excited about that. Hopefully, Chicago can keep it together, put a tamp down on these rising cases so that we can have nice things later on in the year. That's my hope, guys. That's my hope. Fantaf, I don't ever know how to say this. Fantaflas Dopke says, the Hoka Speed Goat mid for walking? Well, that could be an interesting choice, depending on the terrain you're walking on. I think for walking on pavement, that might be a lot. It might be a lot too much. But if you're walking like hiking type of thing, then I could see that being a really good choice. Hoka also does make hiking shoes too. Like if you need a hiking shoe, they also do make that. JB says, the Hoka makes the Gaviota 3. It's a stability shoe. Oh, okay. That's why I'm not familiar with that one. I don't pay attention a lot to the stability shoes. I can't run in them. They always make my knees hurt. So I stay away from the stability shoes. Critical Thinker says, hey, Mike, have you ever noticed your calf muscles twitching, almost rippling while resting after a run? Any ideas if it's normal? I've experienced stuff like that before. I think I've had it in my calf. I think I've had it in quads before. I think it just means you're a little bit dehydrated. So I would make sure you're topping up on both fluids and electrolytes to see if that does it. Another kind of hint to know if you're kind of like not just thirsty, but like more like chronically, and I don't want to say chronically either, because I don't want to imply like a medical condition, but if you're just being more like regularly dehydrated, maybe not from one particular day, but like you've been low on electrolytes and fluids, is I used to wake up in the middle of the night with a leg like cramped up, like all of a sudden it'd be like almost like I pulled my hamstring. I would just wake up in the middle of the night and it'd be like super tight. Usually that like is just getting more fluids in. Would be a way to solve that too. Fame that lasts. I didn't say it twice. It's in the username twice. Says, what would be the best long running shoes with best cushioning? Right now, I would say, I mean, there could be 2 ways to go about it. It depends on how fast you're going, really. So I would say like if you're trying to go fast in the long run, then probably the Alpha Fly is the best one that's out there. But if you're trying to go for just like a long run, that's not a race, then shoes that I would look at are like the Saucony Triumph, the 17 or the 18 that has a lot of cushion to it. The New Balance 1080. I like that version 10, I think, a little bit more than the version 11. There's just a little bit more cushion to it in my mind. But if you want like just super, super soft cushion, it's a little bit clunky, but it's a lot of cushion, is the Bondi 7 from Hoka. So those would be 3 options for you. And where did it go? Evan says, Gaviota is Spanish for seagull. Fun Hoka bird fact. Oh, interesting. Imagine if Hoka was like so into the bird thing that they named all their shoes after birds. That would be amazing. I think that would get, I think you could probably do it. You could be like, there would be like a Hoka Falcon. Then there could be like a hawk, you know. That'd be interesting. They were just all birds. I don't know why, but that just makes me giggle a little bit. Steve76 says, for walking Disney World, I'd choose the Invincible. Yeah, that would be a good one. The Zoom X in that would be real nice. I did a Disney World day in the Epic Reacts. It was okay. React foam, I don't think is great for walking. Zoom X foam, I think would be good. I think that'd be real good all day. I also went to a parade in Epic React. I think the version 1s. And I've got the kids on my shoulders a lot when we go to parades. So like, again, the Reacts are just not a great choice. They're a bouncy foam, but they're not a super cushion foam. For walking around, you know what? Another good walking around shoe would be Ultra Boost. I think that'd be a pretty good walking around shoe. I would go, if it's just for walking though, I would go with the older versions, like the 3.0 style that has a little bit more in the forefoot. So that'd be better, I think, for walking, or if someone's going to be on their feet a lot. Where did this one go? This was all right. Stephen Burke says, I read that there was a live stream where you discussed the Reebok Run Fast 3.0. Do you know where I can find it? Greetings from Newcastle, England. I don't remember talking about the Reebok Run Fast 3.0. I talk about it occasionally. When was I talking about it? I was talking about it yesterday, I think, but not in detail because I haven't run in that shoe yet. I probably will. Oh, I remember. I was going to talk about it in terms of, I was probably going to review that at the same time as I pick up the Under Armour Velocity Flow. I'll probably look at those two shoes kind of like at the same time because I think that makes a lot of sense. So like, not yet. I'm pretty excited about it because I ran in the Reebok Float Ride Grow last year, and that shoe just was super easy to run in. Really versatile. I really like it. For people that like a little bit more road feel, that's the kind of shoe that you want. Still absorbs a lot of road impact though, but like a really great compound that they have there. Highly underrated. And then the 3.0, so far I try not to read too much about it, but I've gotten the impression that people are really excited about 3.0. So I'm excited about it too. But my closet is full. I'm trying to get like rid of some shoes. And not by rid of them, I mean run with them, get them to the 100-mile mark, and then make a kind of like final video about them, and then make room for some more shoes. But I just have so many shoes in the closet right now. I gotta get through some of those first. There's something else I was gonna say about that. Oh, the other thing about it is the one, like what would make me instantly buy the Reebok Float Ride 3 right now is I keep seeing these ads on Instagram, and Instagram ads stick in my mind. They're very sticky. It's very effective on me. But there's a woman's version that's like white with like a light gray midsole. I just think it looks fantastic. But they don't make a men's in that color. And it doesn't seem like there's anything feminine about, like, it's not like it's, Nike's made a whole bunch of pink shoes. They had an entire year where pink was the color. So like, I clearly don't care, but like, why isn't there like a men's version? I don't know if the lasts are different. That's why I'm like, I don't necessarily want to review the shoe using like the women's shoe if I'm expecting, like a men's version. So that's like the only thing about it. But I really want that white one. The other ones are just like, it looks like, it looks like a Reebok shoe. I feel like it was a very safe design for the Reebok Float Ride 3. I feel like they didn't really let anyone take too many risks on it. So it's a little bit underwhelming in terms of design, but I anticipate that the shoe itself is going to be good. All right. Vegan Runner says, went for my first run in the G9T today. I think he means the Glycerin 19, right? Just applaud. So too early to say how I feel about it. Going to try half marathon pace intervals in it tomorrow to get a better idea. Cool. Let us know how that goes. Yeah, you guys are talking about the Glycerin 19s. All right, I might have to pick that up. You guys keep talking about how much you guys like that shoe. Martha says, if Hoka had all bird names, the brand name should be Aves instead of Hoka. Yeah. Well, what does Hoka mean again? I forget. We did a Trivia Tuesday about it a while ago. But I'm drawing a blank on what Hoka means. Will Gravel says, Gaviota is also a place north of Goleta, Santa Barbara, where Hoka is headquartered. Go Gauchos. See, now that makes a little bit more sense to me. That it's named after, because Hoka loves to name the shoes after places. Rincon, Bondi, Clifton, Gaviota. Is Arahi a place? I mean, the mock is the mock named after a place? I don't think so. But interesting. Fantafilos Dofke says they should call it a Hoka pigeon. I feel like there's a lot of ways you can go with that, because there's a very popular SB Dunks that are the pigeon version that are rare collectible as far as some casual shoes go. So like if they did it right, a Hoka pigeon could be pretty amazing. All right. Sarah Mim says, I think a Hoka Flamingo name shoe would be great. Ben Park's glove pink. That would be nice. Why isn't there one? I saw a guy today at the playground. He had a pair of Hoka Rincon 1s on. I think they were Hoka Rincon 1s. Come to think of it, I'm not sure that I could pick out the 1s from 2s on someone's feet. I was trying to think, like, was it 1s or 2s? But it was like the blue and white. It was like, but like not the Hoka blue. It was a different color. So I think it was like a different kind of blue for the Rincon. And his had like a tear over like the pinky toe on it. And I'm like, oh, it's been a long time since I've seen a pair of Hokas with a pinky toe tear in it. But remember, like years ago, it seemed like that was like the big thing. Like everyone, like every Ginger Runner review was like, these shoes are good, but I don't know, my toes are kind of poking through. And like he would have like a problem ripping every single pair of Hokas. I was like, what's up with this guy's toenails? But I just think that they may have had some production issues or some materials issues in their earlier years. But I also wonder, like, didn't they have crazier colors, or am I just used to it now? I don't know. Sue Ann's here. She says, hi, everybody. Just listening in while making some bread. That sounds nice. I wish that's one thing, like, I don't want to, yeah. I know a lot of people did a lot of baking during the pandemic, but we just used our bread machine a lot. I do wish that I had the ability to just go into the kitchen and from memory, like I can go into the kitchen from memory, put together a pizza dough and it'll be fine. That's easy enough. I wish I could do that with bread and just make it and get the loaf proofed and get it into the bread pans and then just get it going. I wish I could do that, but I only know how to use the bread machine. I suppose there's still plenty of time to figure that out. Maybe that's what I'll try and do this week. Road to the Tape says, is there any New Balance shoes you're looking forward to? I'm definitely looking forward to the RC Elite 2. Basically, having the RC Elite 1 with more stack height, I think is perfect. Because my only critique about that shoe was that I can't run in it for more than like an hour. I could run in it for more than an hour, but at about the hour mark, my foot started to hurt. And so I just needed more underneath for it to be a racer for me. I use it as a workout shoe. But if I'm just kind of try to go, the entire time, I don't think that RC Elite 1 was the shoe for me. But if there's going to be, And well, that's not right. There's lots that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the what is it? Is it the Rebel 2? The Rebel 2 that Thomas keeps talking about? That one, that like orange color. I really like that orange color. It's like a creamsicle almost. I really like that orange color. And I'm just pretty excited about it. I did like the first one a lot. I regret that I didn't run in it more. The upper was fantastic. So I'm a bit disappointed that the upper looks like it's going to be very different, because that upper on the Rebel 1 was really unique. I'm a sucker for knit materials. And I really enjoyed it. I don't think the upper on version 2 is a knit material. So that's going to be a little bit of a disappointment, I think, in the upper category, I anticipate. But I'm hoping that the midsole makes up for it. And then I think I don't know that I'm looking forward to it or not, but I'm probably going to pick up the Fresh Foam More version 3. Just because people keep talking about how good it is. And I'm a bit disappointed in the 1080 version 11. I mean, disappointed is not the right word. I just had such high expectations for it that it's not met those expectations, relatively speaking, disappointed, I guess. So, but those are that's the 3 that I'm looking forward to. Does anyone know if they're going to make a fuel cell TC version 2 though? Are they updating that, or is that like they're just going to make everyone run in the is it the answer to run in the Rebel? I mean, that would make more sense to me. Scott says, do you think it's possible to train too long for a race? Oh, absolutely, for sure. So when I see people that have like 16-week programs for their marathons, 20-week programs for their marathons, I'm always like, wait a minute, what now? Because unless like the first 4 or 8 weeks are like getting you in shape, like maybe you were running a little bit here and there, but like you need to build your consistency first. If it's not that, I think 16 to 20 weeks is like too long for like a marathon. And I would say the prime example of that, I think that's what happened to Seth when he was training for, what was it? Was it the Columbus Marathon, I think? And then he got hurt. He was putting in crazy miles for like 20 weeks straight and super intense workouts for like 20 weeks. And then ended up hurting himself before the race. And I was just thinking, one, I feel like he backed off it, but I felt like in the beginning he was like, I don't know about those Adios 4. And then I also felt like that's a really long training program from someone who's already been running at such a high level like Seth has been. So like I think it's definitely possible to train too long for a race, because then you have to really manage the peak, right? And that's like the art of training programs, is like figuring out how do you make the athlete peak at the right time. And how do you balance that like razor's edge between overtraining and undertraining? And so I think that like for me, I like shorter the better, because I'm coming into it like already with like my running is to the point where I think that I'm always ready to jump into a marathon training block pretty much almost at any time, because I run every day. And when I'm not specifically training for something, and it's a lot of easy miles. So I feel like I'm always about ready to start a program, but I know for a lot of people, they're not ready to start a program. So like the first, 4 to 8 weeks might be getting ready for the program. So that's kind of what I think about it. So yeah, I think it is possible to think about to train for too long. All right, we got some other interesting ideas for Hoka bird names. Jody wants the Hoka peacock. Where you're not really running, but you want to look good. I like that. Martha says Hoka ostrich for anti-vaxxers. Awesome. Putting your head in the sand. There you go. Nice. Josh Greenberg says, I'm a high school runner and currently train in the endorphin speed. Once I get an easy day shoe, I'm going to save the speeds for fast workouts. Should I upgrade to the pro if I can? I would say I'm not sure that you need to, Josh, depending. I'm assuming like at the high school level, you're running cross country maybe, or maybe you can tell me, I'm assuming most of your running is either on roads or on the track, right? And so like, your fastest work is probably on the track. And so the Speed has a little, I think it has less stack height than the Pro. The Pro always feels a lot taller to me. And I don't think that you're necessarily going to get more out of it than you are getting out of the Speed. And I don't think you're going to be racing in the endorphin speeds anyway. So like, I think that like, if you have the endorphin Speed, that'll be great to get you through most of your road training. And then if you get an easy day shoe, that makes it for your long runs and for more of your easier sessions. The other thing that I would think is, instead of upgrading to the Pro, I would instead just get some spikes, because you're probably going to have some workouts where you're going to want to put the spikes on, and that's probably what you're going to be racing in. So like I would try to do more workouts in your spikes. Depending on, if you're a miler, you're probably not getting into your spikes every workout, but you might be doing that for some of them, and get more accustomed to that. So that way, when you do get into your spikes for your races, you're ready for them. So that's kind of like would be where I'm leaning. And Josh Gurner says, yeah, but I also do cross country. And so like the Speed, I don't think, rather than like for a cross country shoe, like, there I'm thinking about like, you want something with a little bit more grip than a road shoe. So again, instead of getting the Endorphin Pro, I might get a shoe that's going to be faster for when you are on some of like the grassy, hilly terrain or the dirt that you might be on in a cross country course. So I would look at something like the Terra Kiger, the Ultra Superior, other like really lightweight but trail capable shoes, just for some of those training days, rather than the Endorphin Speed, because that's not going to be like the best. Or getting a daily trainer road shoe that has maybe a little bit more traction to it, could be another way to go for that. So like, I don't know that the Endorphin Pro is necessarily something that you need, because for anything that you would want to go faster than that for you, I'm imagining you're going to be in a track where I would want you to have spikes, or you're going to be possibly like in grass and hills and dirt, where I'd rather you be in a fast trail shoe. So that's kind of how I would look at it. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Josh Grimmer says, I do race in spikes, but I wasn't sure for like speed work and tempo days. I mean, you might not need it for your tempo days, but if you're doing a bunch of 200s like on the track, then that might be a day to get the spikes out. Or even for your 400s, I could, depending on like what the rest intervals are like, if you're getting a little bit more rest into them and you're running them harder, that could be a day to get in the spikes. And I mean, like now, like if everyone on the team is not getting into their spikes for these, then I might not do that. I might kind of like look to the to what the kind of like the coach thinks for that. But I don't think that like you need Endorphin Pros on a track. If you are again looking for like kind of like a flat for the track, I would look at something like a Meta Racer, the Skechers Performance Speed Elite, the Nike Zoom Streak, the LT4, I think is the latest one now that's out. So like a road flat, something that's an Adios 5, that would be another really great one to kind of look at. So those are the other things that I would look at if you want still like a road shoe that you could use for your speed days, if you don't want to hop into your spikes for those speed work days. So that's kind of how I would look at it. All right, let's do one more, and then I'm gonna get going for today. All right, looks like we got something from Barry Purse. What's going on, Barry? Says, the Brooks Addiction and Brooks Beast currently rock. Oh, nice. Logged 12 consecutive 100-mile weeks in those shoes. That's insane. So each of those shoes have like 600 miles each on them? I'm assuming like if you split it up, that's incredible. Great work, Barry. Man, now everyone's got some catching up to do, I guess, if we want to catch up to Barry. I don't know that I can, but whew, good work. Good work, Barry. All right. And Leona's here. Good to see you. As she says, better very late than never. Awesome. You just made it in time, Leona. How are you? All right. I'm going to end it for there today, guys. Tomorrow's video, like I was saying, I'm trying to get some of these shoes, like finish the reviews. I got to the 100-mile mark in the New Balance Fresh Foam More Trail. So that video will be out tomorrow, and then we'll do another live stream in the afternoon, same time as today, 3 p.m. Central Time. I have no idea what time it'll be where you guys are, because daylight savings is weird, but hopefully you'll be able to see those reminders or see that like little placeholder on YouTube, and you'll be able to catch it and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, be safe out there and enjoy your runs, everybody. Thanks.